So this is the beginning of our the home view of the final project that we made. The idea behind our project was to create an online shopping store that hosts different clients, products, and their purchase information. And we'll start with a general overview of the entire site and then going into the specific requirements of our project. So as we can see in the very beginning, the first layout that we have is that of client information. And the information this basically presents is that it gives the viewer an opportunity to select the specific client they want to purchase the product for. So for example, in this case, let's go with Aladdin. And then we can see that when we search the information for this client, we can have all of their information, their first name, last name, client ID, date of birth, along with their address and the specific field we would need for an online store to operate to be able to send them their delivery and their purchases. Basically, we also can see their purchase history as a portal that provides an overview of the purchases they have made in the past. Along with that, we can also select which product we would like to select for the client. For example, if we go with shoes, for example, we can also see specific requirements for the shoes, what specifications the shoe is available in, and after that, we can finally make the purchase by inputting the specific client ID, the product number, for example, and how many quantities we would like to the plan to purchase from our site. After that, we'll go on to the catalog portion of the project.
So in the catalog portion, when we click on, when we not click, when we go to each picture, there's a pop-up that shows which describes the price and quantity and size of each item that we're selling. So this is consistent across all of the products that are mentioned on this website. On the right hand side, we also see two web viewers. The first one, which shows the map location of the store. For example, we're using the Nike store over here. So in the map, we can see the Eden Center, which has the Nike store in there. Underneath that, we also have the actual Nike store, which has all the products that you can purchase from their website. And just to show how we could incorporate websites into our FileMaker. Now after this, we're going to move to the product revenue section, which has three parts. We're going to begin with the earnings part, which includes information at a sub-summary and grouping level of the different products and the total revenue generated for the firm on sales of each of these individual products. So as you can see, it's designed beautifully with segmentation of different colors. Um, the sub-summary, which is basically, for example, in this case, code gloves, then the body, which is in the lighter color, and then the trailing sub-summary, which is your total revenue. Now, moving on from this, we move to the graphs, which are derived from this information. First, we're classifying revenue by product. So in here, we have a pie chart that basically differentiates and segments all the revenue generated by the firm based on the different products offered by the firm. On the right-hand side, we have a legend of all the products offered by the firm, and we can also see within each of the individual segmentation of the pie chart the exact dollar value of the revenue that's generated. Now, moving on, we also have another graph which shows revenue by order ID. What this sort of shows us is which order generates the highest revenue for the firm. So we can see order 26, for example, has generated $1,120 for the firm, which is greater than 25% of the revenue generated for the firm. This gives an indication of which clients tend to order largest and which products within the order cycle is of the greatest value.
Now we'll move on to the specific requirements of the project that we met and see how our project meets all of them and exceeds expectations for the project. So we'll start with the infrastructure of the database itself. So as we can see, we have three main tables specified in our project file: the clients table, the purchase information tables, and the products table. And within them, we have a many-to-many relationship where we have many clients being connected to many products and many products being connected to many clients as well. We also see that we have specified proper field definitions for all the fields within our tables. And we have also shown how the data needs to be validated and have the specific data type specified for each and every field that we find within these tables as well. Now, as we have shown earlier, that each one of these tables has their own data entry layout too. So as we can see, every table has been given its own layout, along with other layouts that we can use for supplementary information, such as for filtering data, sorting, and things like that, along with the original tables that are specified here as well. Now, as we can also see by looking at the design of this entire project, we have consistently followed the guidelines that are given to us throughout the course, specifically the ones outlined in the non-designer's handbook. So if you look at things like the proximity, the alignment, the contrast, and the repetition of the design that are found in the project file, we can see that it consistently meets those requirements and also gives a visually aesthetic look to the project as well. Going on to the one of the main parts of the project, which is the scripts workspace, we have utilized our scripts in a way that really enhances the quality of our project. As we can see, we have divided them based on different sections, and each section has a minimum of 2 scripts, and all of them combined together allows the project to work as a holistic file as well. So we have the scripts for sorting, for searching, for example, as mentioned earlier, the client can select a specific field and search, select a specific product and search as well. Going back to the scripts, we also have one for the dialog box. So an important part of the project is to be able to add information to the card. And let's say if we want to add a product, we can just specify how many, the product ID and the client ID, and we will see that it gets added to the purchase information table of our product. So at the end, we can see that this is the product that was just added there. Going back to the scripts, we also have scripts for finding and filtering information as well as for sorting. So an important part of the project is to be able to filter data. So if I want to filter the information for all the jackets by last name, all I have to do is do that, and we have jackets filtered by last name. So these are all the important scripts that are found in the file, and all of these really allow us to take the project to the next level.
Now, moving on, we're going to take on the dialog box, which is in the client information layout. When we click on the dialog, when we click on the purchase product, we see a dialog box that pops up. Now, within this dialog box, we have 3 fields, which is client ID, product ID, and quantity, which all refer back to the purchase information table. So for example, if we entered 6 as the client ID, and if we entered 7 as the product ID and 4 as the quantity, and press OK, we can go directly to our purchase information table and see that the record has been updated over there with our latest data. Now, apologies. Now, looking at the graphs that are mentioned in the project layout. So when we go to product revenue and we go to the graphs, there there are 2 graphs in particular that we focus on. One, as I mentioned earlier, one is revenue by product, and the other one is revenue by order. Each of these graphs are derived information directly from the tables, and on the side we also have a legend which describes the graphs. Furthermore, the color scheme used by us is very simple, and it's something that will just help the user identify between each segment of our layout. So we've used a dark to light color scheme. As you can see, client information, catalog, product revenue are all dark in color, but the overall body of the layout is in light color. So it creates that contrast between the light and dark schemes to help the user understand and synthesize information better. Now, apologies. The layout should show one-to-many relationship. That is again identified in our purchase history. So we see a portal which shows a one-to-many relationship between purchases made by different clients. So you have a one-to-many relationship over there, and then there's a portal which shows more than one record. And based on that, we also have a purchase made total, which comes from basically the addition of all the data in the portal. There we go. So moving on from that, we're looking at the summary field now. So for that, we're going to go to the product revenue earnings to show you that we have sub-summaries for each of them, segmenting each of the products that the firm offers, and again, building out the total revenue from the orders. Next, we're going to look at the global navigation button bar that's consistent across all our layouts. If we press purchase information, we reach back, client information, we reach back to our original layout. Then when we look at catalog, we reach the catalog where we have all of our different product items, and then in product revenue, we look at the graphs and all of the separate earnings and the separate graphs.
Now going on to the other requirements of the project, and one of them was to include a popover and tab slider in the project. As we can see, part of our product revenue section of the file, we have a popover that actually gives us the subsection that can be found within this entire section, and this is a really nice way of combining related items together in the project and also using the features of the FileMaker product to the fullest as well. We also saw that within our client information section, we have a tab here that also further summarizes the information that is related to the client as well. Moving on, within our catalog section, we also have two data viewer features, as mentioned earlier, that allows us to better see the location of the store and also further see how the website of the store is looking as well. And it just gives the user of the site a better idea of where to find the products, where to find the location, etc. Finally, as mentioned earlier, we have consistently followed the design principles of our layout throughout the course, including things like following the non-designer handbook guidelines, other guidelines specified throughout the course, and this has allowed us to really create a product that looks very visually appealing. It follows the design guidelines, and for any user, it offers very simple UI and a simple user experience that would allow them to really spend time on the site and hopefully make recurring purchases as well.
I think from our side, that's all that we have to say for our layouts. Um, I think we've gone in depth on all of the single individual aspect of the layout, and if there's any questions from the professor or the TAs, we'd be happy to answer the questions. Thank you.
Thanks.